We are officially recording. We will be starting with Nova.
Vote.
So, Nova, you've been watching the market and you have a pretty good idea of how Miss Sheridan conducts her day. She's pretty simple. She goes to work hard, seems pretty fairly honest. She goes uh to the temple, and then she goes home, makes dinner for her husband, and uh leads a pretty normal life. What are you doing?
I don't know. Hmm, no idea.
Well, if I remember correctly, didn't you say you wanted to talk to the priest?
I wanted to go talk to them.
Okay. So you walk to the temple and walk up, and there's a monk. Not sorry, I made a mistake. Not a oh, dang it. I made a mistake with my times. There we go. So you walk up to into the temple, and there's a monk standing there, and he bows. Greetings. You are Fong Min Do.
I am. I'm sorry for the last time when I touched the hand.
It's perfectly acceptable.
I was trying to put it back under so no one else could see.
Well, things like that do tend to happen, and accidents can be accidents. The good thing is that you know not to do it again. You don't want to disturb the body after it's been rigorously cleaned.
I know.
Can I help you with anything?
Uh, Party help. I don't know anymore.
You're pulling the party?
Yeah. Because I don't know where to continue.
So your purpose for going to talk to the priest was to apologize for what happened with, seeing that the hand was made of wood, right? Which you just did.
Yeah, but I don't know what to do afterwards.
Um, Ask him something like, how often are these services provided? Like, what's the rate at which they have to do these? Something like that. Just because that might tell you how many people are being summarily ousted from their religion, like, and how many, you probably wouldn't tell you this, but like how many of those funerals are actual bodies and not the ousted. Like, I don't think he'll tell you that though, now that I think of it.
Well, Nova already knows how many bodies since she's been here because over a couple of weeks, like, there's been like a couple, like 5 or so. I don't remember.
All right. Anybody else have any ideas?
I'm a little out of my depth. I'm sorry, I don't have anything to add.
Yeah, I'm not up to speed on what is going on, so I have no input either.
Yeah, I don't even know how to find zealots right now. That's the issue.
You can try to, like, even say you can try to figure out how many bodies were real or how many bodies was wood, but you have to be like clever about it. Like, how many, uh,
There's
how,
a word for that when
a
you
word.
use a substitution in place of. Amy, give me the language here. I'm missing it.
Like a proxy?
Yeah, that's close, but um, when you when we do ritual sacrifice and you lay something on the altar, but it's not the thing it stands in place of.
A representation?
Something like that, yeah. How many of those bodies are representations because the bodies were lost or
Yeah.
otherwise unable to be used, rather than walking up and being like, "Oh, hey, how many of these are just wood?"
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
actually a good way to put it would be, does that mean that those people that they were lost in war or something? Just to see what says.
Injury, disease, war. I mean, how many of these are proxy is the closest one I can come up with, but that's not the word I want. And you know where I'm going with that, Davis, but I can't grab it out of the ether.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of the word either. That's why I was hinting at though.
Got me on the right track, though, Jess. Thank you. That was really smart.
The other thing you could ask is, um, I think that the person that you're trying to be is a member of this religion. Am I right?
Yes.
So she has to be careful about how many questions that she asks because it should be stuff she already knows. But that one particular thing wouldn't be. Like these are these people, the reason that I saw what I saw is, oh, I didn't hear you say effigy duro. So if you were speaking, we didn't hear you. Effigy is a good reason. I'm sorry, good thing. Um, but yeah, she has to be careful what she asks, but to ask how often are these effigies used in place of someone because their body is gone, might she might get away with that.
There's another
Or fail me.
there's another suggestion you could ask. You could ask if these two young men died in the war.
Yep.
So, shall we continue?
Sure.
Okay. I must say, Miss Du, it is absolutely an honor to have you here with us. To have a calmer voice speak out against the madness that is going on here in austerity across Delphin completely.
I try my hardest.
Is there anything else I could do for you, Miss Dew?
I already forgot how to word the question. The one you asked, Traveler. No.
There you go.
Can you answer me this one? Can you please tell me how many if these two men died in the war?
He frowns. Miss Dew. Sorry if you had not heard, but no. There are no Europans fighting in the Delphin War. No. These two young men, unfortunately, perished because of being young men. You're getting help in the chat there, Nova.
Care to elaborate on that one?
What would you care for me to elaborate on?
Being young men, what does that mean?
He'll smile softly and give you a half nod. And Miss Dew, such matters are trivial and personal to the families who have suffered this loss. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to speak on such things. I did have a question for you. I heard a rumor. Clearly, it was wrong, but I heard a rumor from one of our residents that you were brutally tortured and murdered at one of the governor's penal colonies. Clearly, it wasn't true, or here, but still, where would somebody come up with such a thing?
Probably Governor Ava Forma, trying to spread fear and panic among us.
An interesting answer, he says with a smile. I didn't consider that one an option when I first faced with the fact that you were still alive, and yet the rumor of your death had been crushing. I'm not going to lie. Your arrival here has been a blessing, even to those who have seen their faith shaken. To have such a staunch defender of the faith here, a defender of the angel. You stood your ground, spoke your words, and was not intimidated. You were moved by the angel. And he bows, and we are honored to have you return to us.
Well, I'm glad to be back.
Is there anything else I can do for you, Miss Dew? You're being helped in the chat.
We'll be alright if I attend the next funeral without being disrespectful to the family.
Miss Dew, you are a folk hero. You cannot possibly be disrespectful. Unfortunately, he says with a frown, there is 2 more funerals planned this week. The young, the foolish.
Then I shall be there. Well, so when are they held?
One will be tomorrow, and the other one 2 days from now.
Very well.
If you'll excuse me, Miss Dew, I have other tasks to tend to. And he'll turn and walk away. Well, he'll bow and then turn and walk away.
She will do a prayer and then head home, but take a little nap and probably stay up and see how the nightlife is.
Well, first, you're gonna, stand there for a second, and then as you, turn to move, you stop immediately because you don't want to trip over the young girl standing there. She's probably about 10, 11, you think? She looks up at you.
Hello, little one.
You're Fong Min Do, she says, with
That I am.
I am Tai.
That is a beautiful name.
Thank you. We just arrived from Europa. You don't know, but my father and mother attended several of your speeches before you were arrested. My father, he's he's like you. He's passionate and he loves the angel and he loves Europa.
I love Europa too.
She nods. You know, I know this camp and the other 3 camps better than most. For a small fee, I could be your tour guide, she says, holding out her hand.
How much is your fee, little one?
Oh, well, I didn't think I'd get this far. 1 credit.
I'll give you 1 now, and if you're good, I'll give you 4 more.
She bounces with joy. Deal. So, where shall I take you next?
Your favorite spot.
Ah, well, that'll be this way. And she'll take you from the temple and towards the center of the camp and up a large tower. Before, this used to be a heavy this used to be a heavy guard tower. Now it belongs to us. No guards, no guns. And she'll take you all the way up to the top. Look, you can see all around.
It is a very pretty view. And she's going to look to see if... Just look around to see if anything.
Okay. Give me a spot check. Waiting for the
And
spot.
we're not using the dice on the character sheet anymore, are we?
You don't have to. Just make sure you add your roll appropriately.
Mm-hmm. That's how you do it. 12.
So looking around, you see the camp and the other 2 camps that are very closely located. At one point in time, they were separated by large barbed wire fences. As such, those fences have been removed, and regular, almost like a colorful Durasteel wall was erected around all 3 camps. There's points of entry, but they're not heavily guarded. There's generally a couple of guards there checking to make sure people coming and going are supposed to be in the camp, but it doesn't have that feel like a prison. And the other thing you notice looking around in the immediate vicinity, there's a massive age gap. You see children like Ty running around, and you see adults like, Mother Sheridan, but you don't see anyone roughly late teens, late 20s in that age bracket. I mean, every once in a while you'll spot 1 or 2, but it seems like that particular age bracket has been reduced in the camp.
Ty, when did all the older kids go?
What do you mean?
There's not as many of them anymore.
Oh, that's because of the accidents. My father told me, well, there was this girl that I used to like, and she was very nice to me, and she used to share her rations with me. She didn't like to eat the food, but she used to share them with me. And one day they were having a funeral for her, and I asked my dad what happened, and he said that she died. And I didn't understand because she seemed just fine the day before, but it's just one day she was there, the next day she was gone. And when I asked my father, he said that the governor had poisoned her, and poisoned her in a way that she'll never find the angel. I think, and she looks around, I think her parents murdered her to prevent the poisoning from making sure she would never find the angel.
Well, you make sure you don't get poisoned too when you get older, okay?
I
I
I
will protect you.
I won't get poisoned. My dad looks out for me. He says there's nothing the governor can do to hurt me.
Well, I'm glad, because you are a good kid.
I try to be. Dad's very proud of me. And I go to temple 4 times a day, and I study with the monks.
Hmm.
They said I'm a very bright student.
Have you thought about schooling?
A man came by, and he talked to my father when we first got here, and said that the law said I had to have an education. And my father laughed at him and said that I was a girl and girls don't get education, and that I was going to be raised traditionally. And when he argued with my father picked him up. It was kind of funny, and threw him out the door, and said that no, um, um, he said something really bad, was going to take his daughter and poison her.
Do you know if that man visited your friend and her family?
Mm, she looks very nervous.
What's wrong, little one?
Um, I have a secret, but I could tell you because you walk with the angel, and I've been good. I kept the secret.
And the angel will bless you
But
as well.
I knew my friend, Mai, was and she kind of stutters and starts playing with her thumbnails. Well, so I knew that Mai was gonna die because I saw that she was talking with a couple of people, a couple of women, and they were in uniform, and I heard that I heard that she was, and she looks down and looks sad, and you can see tears coming down the sides of her face.
Oh, child. And she kneels down and pulls her into a hug.
They were talking about her becoming a ghost, that she was gonna die, and then a few days later her family killed her and she's gone.
I'm gonna pull the party. What else should I ask the little girl?
Your help is in the chat if you didn't notice.
Thank you for trusting me with this secret. You are very smart, and I'm so happy.
She smiles and nods.
Do you know if uh this man comes to every child and girl too?
Which man? The one that wanted to take me to the school?
Yes.
He he and a bunch of other people. They have, and she points to her arm. They have a symbol. It's like a machine part in a circle on their arm.
Is there dust up here that I can draw on?
No, but you have your tablet.
Okay. I'll draw the uh symbol that I know that she's trying to describe.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I see. Very well. This is Governor Ava's symbol.
Mm-hmm. My father says that's a symbol of evil.
Your father is very smart, and so are you.
She smiles again.
So here's another credit chip. Now, where else are we going? I did promise you 5.
Well, where do you want to see next? Do you want to see where the ghosts are?
There's ghosts. Let's go see them. Here they were. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Okay, but you got to be careful. My dad says they're very dangerous and evil people. He said that they hate the angel and that if they could, they'd kill her and do horrible things. And he said that if they ever catch me, that they would do terrible things to me.
Well, I'll make sure they don't do anything to you and we'll be extra quiet.
She nods. And she'll lead you away from the tower, or back down and away from the tower, and across the camp to one of the neighboring camps. And there is, as you guys approach, you come up to a building. And on the wall of the building, hanging down, you see this symbol. That's where they are. They're in there. I've seen them. I'm not scared of them, but I know that I'm not supposed to be caught, and so I sneak around and I see them in there. They talk to people, but they're not there now. It's too late, and the ghosts don't hang out at night. But they come every day, 5, 6 of them, and they all look like us, not like them, she says, pointing over the wall. And I think at one time they were like us, but they're different. They talk different and they act different, and they don't they don't they don't respect the monks. The monk, the head monk, asked them to leave, and they told him no, that they were here. There's nothing he could do to stop them. And then there was yelling, and I got scared, so I left.
I see. So there's no one inside.
No.
Do you want to sneak in?
She looks kind of, her eyes shift sideways, and, well, I already know how to sneak in. They're not very smart ghosts.
Well, they are ghosts. They just are very crazy.
It's not interesting in there, but if you want to go, I can show you. They always leave the back door unlocked.
We can peek, but that's it, okay?
Okay. And as you head in there, and she opens up the door, uh, on the back wall closest to you, you see this image, and there's all kinds of other memorabilia about joining the joining the legions. There's probably about a half dozen desks, but there's very basic. Very few of them have drawers. and they're all been cleaned off. Everything is nice, neat, orderly. There's nothing that's looks valuable. It definitely looks like, it's only meant to be used during the day.
Well, it's very orderly in here. I think I like the messy.
This is where I saw my friend Mai. This is where I saw May talking, and when they said that she was going to become a ghost.
I see. Shall we head back then?
Okay. And on that, she'll go ahead and she'll lead you back out and close the door behind you guys, and you guys can head back your own way. And on that, we'll wrap it up. I'm gonna pause real quick to give you guys a chance to talk about what you guys uncovered.
We don't want to talk.
I think she found her zealots.
No, she just found the ghosts. She needs to find the zealots. The zealots are the people who don't want the ghosts around, which are the monks.
Yep. That's why I said I think you found your zealots.
Oh, I was pretty sure I found my zealots when the monks said they couldn't help out, or that the guards couldn't help out with the funeral.
There.
But I need to catch the names of the monks and see if they have someone up higher. That's my mission. I have to get the highest members of the zealots' names.
Well,
And
I hate to say it, but usually the best way to do that is join them.
yep, I know. And it's going to be hard because I suck at asking questions all the time. Which is why Nova likes little kids, because she can ask a weird question and they will answer truthfully.
Well, that's a possible way to do it. I mean, you could request to join the church in the ministry of children, and that way you get to talk to kids who off like you just said will often tell the truth without realizing what they're doing, but you'll also be around the zealots, and in so doing prove to them that you believe as they do, in which case that might loosen their lips a little bit.
Now, they already think so, because that's why the monk is so lenient on Nova right now, because she is a talker about against Ava. This person is.
Yep.
Which is kind of why I want to see the nightlife, but to see if the zealots come out at night because the ghosts aren't around.
Caesarum
Well, it might be helpful to find out how many there are, like how many temples are there in each camp, and if there's more than one temple, how many priests are at each temple, etc.
Yeah, I'm not about to go buy material to make a bomb in this body. With only now, like, probably 200 credits to my name. I don't want to be sent back to a prison planet for another 4 months. No, thank you.
Yeah, I can see why.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello, back.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna jump over to Mishka and Ava. Are you two ready?
I guess so. I don't know about her though.
I know, I'm not seeing anything.
Hang on, I'm moving around.
You're moving around?
Yeah, David wanted his toys.
Okay.
So I'm going back downstairs.
All right, well, take.
And I don't want to breathe into the mic while I'm trying to roleplay like
Okay.
I am right now.
All right, well, take your time. I'll focus on Mishka. So, you and Ryan have received this wonderful tour of this massive underground facility. When you guys first arrived, you landed on the facility, which appeared big. It's literally built on the side of a mountain, and the only way that appears to reach it is by landing on the platform. It also appears to be heavily guarded. You notice that, as you're approaching, that there were a lot of fixed weapon emplacements, and it was all manned by droids. Going into the facility, you process through a couple of quarantine areas, which you recognize. I mean, you're pretty book smart, and this is kind of your area of expertise. And you realize that it's some type of facility where contamination is a really big thing, and they definitely make sure of it. That there's no contamination getting in. The Jupiter One is moved into a hangar that is inside the mountain itself, while you guys descend down a elevator car, and you're not used to the speed that this particular elevator moves at. Now, it's not special. You've read about these kind of elevators before. In fact, they're all over Coruscant. It's possible to transition, hundreds of levels in just a matter of moments at Coruscant. This one goes for almost about 10 minutes as you travel down. and it gets to the point where your ears kind of pop a little bit as you go down. It's a little
Oh,
painful for you because you have super sensitive hearing, but you definitely feel the difference. When the car stops and opens up, you're in a labyrinth of a medical facility, and it's as if this whole area had been hollowed out and individual buildings built, and all the buildings sit on these elevated platforms that only come up maybe about a couple of feet, but it's what's underneath the platforms that surprise you. There's giant springs supporting 5, 6, 8 level buildings.
okay, that's weird.
Yeah, it is really weird. And you notice that throughout the cavern, it's all honeycombed with massive, thick, you're pretty sure it's some type of steel. It's honeycombed with these Durasteel rods all through the whole thing, designed to support the structure. I mean, artistically, it looks kind of garbage, but structurally, it's pretty strong.
Okay. Uh,
And there must be probably half a dozen of these large buildings in this massive cavern. You're only brought to one building where the tour runs you through, and it looks like a hospital. And you see Ava walking through the hospital, and she's, stops every once in a while, and she'll talk to some of the soldiers here that are being treated. And a lot of them look like they've really been tore up. I mean, you're no doctor, but I mean, some of the newer patients, their wounds are very severe.
she's going to obviously look a bit concerned about that.
And Ava leads you guys to uh a private hospital room, and there's this redskin gentleman laying in bed. Looks a little on the older side, and as Ava walks in, there's two guards just outside the door who snap to attention, and he kind of shifts himself up a little bit. I remember being governor, but I'm told now it's empress, he says, speaking to Ava.
Uh, yes. How are you doing, Colonel Pacy?
There's still a lot of foggy areas. Did we did we get the girl?
Yes. You have accomplished your mission. Unfortunately, after accomplishing your mission, there was difficulties with the girl. She ended up dying on the way here.
He frowns. There's bits and pieces of the firefight. I remember the telling the men to get the girl out while we held the line. The resistance was far more devastating than we thought, than we ever imagined. There, I'm just glad that her suffering is over.
And she'll nod in understanding. This is her sister, actually.
Hello.
You are sister to Annetta Windlet, right?
Yes. Yes.
He frowns. I'm sorry. He kind of struggles a little bit, holding his side. We did our best.
I
Ava,
understand.
Ava will reach out her hand and put it on his shoulder. Hey, you successfully achieved your mission. You did get her out.
It's not your fault what happened to her.
What about the others?
Mishka will just sort of frown.
Out of curiosity, how am I playing that? Were they lost and he was the only survivor, or
What?
how I was gonna? I said I don't remember all the details. I told you how I was gonna play it. Was I doing it that they all fallen and he managed to be the only one that was a survivor that was captured?
Well, I mean, he just told you. He told the others to. He told the driver to get Annetta out of there, and that he and the others would hold the line. So he's pretty clear on that. But he asked you, what about the others? Not his men.
Oh, the party. Is that what he's asking?
I can't answer that question.
Oh, okay. Then Abel will give a confused look. Others?
The other Jedi. We couldn't get to them. The resistance was far too. It was far too. Sorry, it's. And he squints his eyes and touches his head. It's.
It's okay.
But I remember there were others. The 4 or 5 of them. I know they were Jedi. They had the same stupid hair thing that all the Jedi have of that age.
You mean the braid?
I guess.
I don't remember anything about other Jedi, though.
Yeah, I don't either. I only knew about Netta.
There was a lot of confusion. We tried. The driver who got Annetta out, he was supposed to alert you to send a second wave to go after the kids, the children of the Jedi.
He didn't live long enough to tell us anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, he didn't make it.
So I lost my whole team, he says, frowning.
I'm sorry that you lost your brothers.
They were good people,
Yes, he was.
but uh, it had to have been a few days. We can still go for them. You're going to go for them, right? Empress, he says, struggling.
He, she looks down, like, with a sorrow. I'm sorry. When we got there, They was already gone. We managed to rescue you.
He
So
frowns. Then
we did try our hardest to try to save everybody. Unfortunately, we just did not get there in time.
then mission to lead a second expedition back to Lannis. I'll put a team together. We'll be covert. We'll get in there. No one will see us coming, and we'll rescue these children.
You're in no condition to do that.
I would have to agree, but if you tell me it's the same area that we was, or you was in, if you tell me exactly where you saw these children, I will make sure we can extract them if they're still there.
Hey, I don't remember. It. I
I
know.
will make. Go ahead.
I know that they were. Aneta was free and walking, and that 6 foot tall pile of bantha crap was leading her around on that leash, that chain.
Well,
I
don't you worry. I will put Miss Pound on this, and we will find them, and we will bring them
He nods.
back.
Thank you, Empress.
You're welcome, and thank you. And as of now, I would like to give you an honorable discharge.
I can still serve.
I have a perfect place for you to serve. Once you're better, I will fill you in on that role.
I understand. And Empress, on a personal note, what of Tassara? Is she around? I asked, and no one seems to know how to give a straight answer in this hospital.
She is currently away on a mission
I mean,
and should be back. Out of care, how long are they gonna be gone?
you don't know that.
I don't know that. And will let me know when she's on her way back.
Well, that's fine, but I can still send her a message. I can still let her know that I'm okay, right?
I already informed her that you was alright, that you had been rescued. And unfortunately, right now, she's in a region that's off comms.
Oh, she's on a Black Ops mission.
Yes.
She must have got away from that weakling Thaltanus.
She actually chose to stop being his apprentice, as far as I remember her saying.
That's correct.
Oh, well, no good has ever come from anything that the Jedi touch.
I would agree. Especially those hunter units.
Yeah. Speaking of which, They were there too. They mucked up
They,
our whole mission.
the hunters were there.
Yeah, we almost slipped in undetected until these laser sword wielding idiots did their thing. They're the one that alerted the whole dang compound, thinking they were invincible.
She'll look a little confused on that.
Look, whatever happened in that freighter parking place, it was a chaotic cluster.
Crater parking place.
The place he was using as his headquarters.
The I'm having a brain part out of here.
It
The
was
Lord.
the warlord, yeah, the warlord of all Lannis. Fool. I went to get him when we were rescuing Anetta, and I almost had his throat sliced open with my blade when these idiots came in there swinging their lightsabers. One of them tried to attack me, thinking I was defending that bastard.
Wow. Then you'll be pleased to know I already taken care of the warlord.
That's good. Good to know. He groans in pain.
You should rest.
Thank you. And he'll turn to Mishka. Again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we were too late.
Like I said, don't be sorry. It wasn't your fault. And she'll give him a kind smile.
And he'll nod.
And on that note, they'll leave to let him rest.
Okay. And so, Mishka, as you
Yeah.
guys are moving through the hospital and everything, Ryan sets you two up for sets you both up for an event, an exam.
Ah.
And because it's medical, it's each one of you will be examined privately. And
That's good.
after your exam, the doctor walks in and he smiles. Miss Winlet,
Yes.
may I ask you a question? He says, closing the door and sitting down.
She frowns and nods.
What do you remember of your childhood?
Mostly Annetta and I spending time together.
And before that?
She looks confused and a little frustrated, trying to remember.
How old were you when Let me ask this question: how old was your first memory?
She thinks back for a long time and just looks at him and sort of shakes her head. I'm not sure.
Well, when you said your sister Annetta, how old were you compared to her?
When I met her, I was 5 years old, I think. I
Okay. And
don't quite remember how old she was.
you write something down. Now, how old are you now?
18?
See. And what
Is
do
there
you.
something wrong?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. You're lucky that this is a non Republic world, so you're okay. But what I'm trying to figure out is what do you know of your parents? What race were they? Species?
My father was Bothan, my mother was human.
Bothan and human.
Yes.
And, and you complain of oversensitive hearing, right?
Yes.
How's your sense of smell?
I can smell things pretty decently as well.
And your eyesight?
It pretty good, I suppose.
Pretty good, you suppose. Um, Miss Winlet, there's no Bothan or human DNA in your genetic makeup.
What? She'll give him a very confused look.
Your hearing and eyesight is vastly superior to both races. It's
So, what am I?
well, the scientific term for this would be a genetically enhanced life form, but the specifics of what makes up your genetic code, that's what I ran the test several times, and this facility has access to some pretty remarkable samples. I'm unable to identify it. But what I am able to identify is a couple of unique properties. Are you familiar with what a midichlorian is?
Mm, I might have heard the word, but I don't remember.
Well, midichlorians is a parasite that infects most Force users like Jedi, and it drives them to do some pretty not logical things. You have an exceptionally low amount of midichlorians, and midichlorians are in normal numbers. It's harmless to most life forms. Force users have a dangerous level in their system. You, Miss Winlet, have an very low amount.
I see.
So, like, if we were to say that, just for an example, a Force user would have, um, 1,000 parts per million. A regular human would have, say 100 parts per million. You're closer to 1 or 2 part per million.
She'll just sort of sit there with concern on her face.
I don't know if this is a bad thing or not. I haven't ever seen anything like this. Like I said, your genetic makeup is very unusual. I mean, everything else seems to be in perfect working order, biologically speaking, of course. Um, you also seem to have more pathways in your mind, and I'd like to run a couple more tests to prove the hypothesis on this, but it appears that your pathways in your mind seem to be vastly more complicated than the normal human or Bothan.
I suppose we could run a few more tests, but does any of this affect my ability to have children?
Well, like I said, everything is in working order. It's whoever. Hmm, whoever created you, Miss Winlet, went to a lot of trouble to make sure you resembled a human to a remarkable degree. You are clearly a, how should I say this? Medically speaking, Miss Winlet, you are truly a work of art. If I didn't know better and I contacted some associates of mine who work within this facility, you're probably one of the most advanced clones I've ever seen. And
Clone.
yes, definitely a clone. And like I said, you're safe. This is a non-republic world. Your life will not be terminated.
I understand that, but I I'm a little confused as to who am I a clone of?
That's what we would really like to figure out. I mean, you have to have a you have to have a template that you are copied from, and whatever species that is, it's who you really are. Oh, there's a couple of visitors to this facility, Miss Winlet. They specialize in cloning. With your permission, I'd like to share my findings with them.
I suppose that's okay.
And will you be leaving anytime soon? Because I would really like to continue to run some other. And he holds up a hand. Non evasive tests on you. The mere fact that you live and breathe is credible.
I don't plan to leave the planet anytime soon, so
Hmm. Good. I'll keep in touch. And he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a chip. This is my contact information if you have any questions. Um, and it's an honor to meet someone so incredible.
thank you. And she'll take the chip.
This is confidential, and those who I did discuss this with understand that, and no one else needs to know if you wish it that way. If you, though I will exercise caution, sometimes the most incredible news can spawn jealousy and resentment, or could bring forth bounty hunters to enforce former Republic laws and rules that were once governed over this world.
I understand.
The who you wish to tell, the when and how, I will respect your privacy and leave that up to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any questions of me?
Just, I guess, just let me know whenever you need more tests done.
Of course.
And
Your
she'll look away for a moment and
your friend, Mr. I believe he said to just call him Ryan. He's been pacing outside for nearly 2 hours and has become quite difficult to keep at bay during your extended exam. Shall I send him in?
yes, you can go ahead.
Thank you. And
You're welcome.
he'll stand up and turn and walk out. And not even before the door closed, Ryan busts in. Are you okay?
She'll just sort of look at Ryan and laugh a little. Yes, I'm fine.
I had terrified that you had caught ill or something. I mean, you're all right. And he closes the door and kind of glances down a little bit. Are you okay, mistress?
Yes, I'm fine, Ryan. Don't need to worry.
I'm I'm not worried. Concerned, but not worried.
Says the man who sounds like a butler right now.
Well, I'm sorry. You'll be happy to know that, my little boys down there are more than capable of producing children for you. Many, many little children. And he scratches the base of his neck. And, well, you know, you did ask.
Well, biologically, I'm still capable of it, so.
Well, I mean, I don't think that was ever really, thing. After all, you're young and healthy and beautiful, and of course you're gonna have kids. I have to say though, when I asked the beautiful blonde nurse for help and, collecting my sample, she laughed, walked out, and said she that help would be right back, and I was expecting to see her or maybe her redheaded friend, and no, they sent in this big burly guy, and he's like, I'm here to help you. And I'm like, my God, man. He was a little rough at first. I had to tell him to, calm down, but he got the sample.
Mm-hmm. Are you okay?
Um, it's a little sore. I mean, I told you the guy was rough. I mean, I wasn't about to back down. I asked for help. If I back down, then I look like I'm being some type of a jerk to the girls. They have a choice.
You could have just said you don't need help anymore.
And then I look like a jerk that I was just like saying that for the girls' sake.
Oh, Ryan. Well, at least it's done.
Yeah. So, you know, I got his number.
What? What?
I mean, just saying. And on and on that note, I think we'll go ahead and wrap that scene up.
Yeah, she's kind of hesitant to tell him about
Please,
everything she's
no.
learned.
Keep it going. Come on now. Don't stop.
Oh my god.
That's what he said.
All right.
I knew somebody was going to do it.
Hey, are you a golfer? Because you hit a clean stroke there.
Go ahead. I'll take a break. You guys laugh it up.
Well, that was quite the scene.
Imagine
was
if Handyman
entertaining.
was there. He would have been much more pleased.
I didn't need to know that.
Wait, would Ryan be more pleased by Handyman? I mean, I suppose, given the treatment, but hey, who am I to judge? No kink shaming here.
Airborne!
Oh.
I'm really glad I closed the patio door so that nobody can hear this conversation right now.
Whoa!
Unless they
You're
find it on
depriving the
YouTube.
world?
Yes,
Find it on YouTube, and then hey, it's been recorded for all the world to hear.
Remember, I'm surrounded by a bunch of old people.
Yeah, well, old people have to have fun too.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to tell you about the villages, Davis. I mean, my God, son.
Yeah, I know.
And some of the things I've heard old people say, just, yeah.
Oh.
Have we got it out of our system now?
No. We're getting a firm grip on this one.
Wasn't Ryan fine though?
A few more strokes, we ought to be just fine.
You just
We
want
haven't
the
come
scene
to the
continue.
climax of this joke session yet.
We're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there.
We're edging ourselves to the finish line.
Keep laughing. Keep laughing.
You better watch out. She's about to pop.
I think we can squeeze in one or two more.
Gonna need more lube.
Oh, Miss Sultanas just palmed in.
It was a really ballsy scene of you, Mike.
Thank you.
We had to grab that whole storyline and give it a good yank.
Well, I had to be inclusive.
I guess
Breathe.
this makes you a new holy man.
I wouldn't necessarily say holy, more got the point across.
Tell me, you must love playing video games with that joystick handling.
I definitely cannot mark this one safe for kids.
Oh, this is not safe for kids.
I haven't said anything untoward. Innuendo is not a crime. Of course, it's going in Ryan's endo, then it goes a whole other ballgame.
It sounds like he consented, though, so...
I mean,
Well,
if I remember correctly, he was bi.
he did score a number at the end.
But the East German judge only gave him a 6.
Huh.
All right. Are we done torturing Astra?
No. No.
You're never done
No.
torturing me.
Never.
All right. So, back to the unknown regions. We are at the
Wait a
school.
minute. Wait. I thought we were just in the unknown regions.
Yeah. So
Just did that. Yeah.
I know. I caught it. So, we are back at the school. Hadaza is fleeing the basement where Tassara and the professor are waiting.
She
Um,
rounds the top of the stairs and slams the door shut.
Hey, how's it going?
Are you? And she looks right at Tasara. Are you hurt?
no, I'm not hurt at all. I was trying to get the professor to leave, but he wouldn't leave without you.
Yeah, it's
Fine.
called an ambush, tactics.
Fine. Ambush
Here,
whatever
in
you
fact,
got down
watch
the.
this. Tie, tie, tie. Move out of the way, Hadaza. Just a little bit.
Gets out of the way, a little
Thank you.
confused.
Tie, tie, tie. All right, and then I just put a grenade right here for the pin, so when they open the door, it explodes, and then we walk away. Let's go. And walks away.
I follow
Sarah
suit.
looks at Hadaza with a semi-amused look on her face. Are you hurt?
I'm fine.
That's not what I asked.
So what'd you find down there?
Well, they were creepy and kooky and altogether spooky and just oozy and gooey and kind of intent on, I don't know, having me for lunch.
Okay. How many were there?
I only saw 2. I don't know how many more were hiding in the dark, and I'm not inclined to find out.
Well, you baited them up here, but I don't hear them knocking on the door, so obviously it's not that big of a deal.
I don't know from bait. I know that I did not want to try and find out how many more there were. I'm not a soldier.
Tessara looks at her. If you're hurt, I can help heal you, but if you're not hurt, we should probably move away, I would think.
Why?
Don't you want to continue searching?
Yeah, but were we not searching down?
Professor, it's dark. There are things down there that want to kill me. I'm not inclined to return. I saw all that I'm interested in seeing.
But we didn't get any valuable information.
Yes, we did. Don't go in the basement.
That's not valuable information. That's cowardice.
And we're supposed to be protecting you, Professor. Are you
Yeah.
still wanting to go into the basement after what happened to Hadaza?
Well, I was expecting them to be knocking on the door by now, so I'm a little confused.
I am
Hmm? Hmm? You
nothing to add to this
excited?
conversation.
Ready to go?
Ready to go.
Excellent. So, do we have any other place to go? I mean, we came here to get valuable information, and we found a school filled with horrible little lepers. And what else did you find down there? What did you see before you skiddy scooed out of there?
Bunk beds.
Bunk
It
beds.
was, yes, it was obviously a bunker of some kind. There were bunk beds down there. So
Okay.
there was an expectation that it was either a dormitory or it was a place where they were going to hole up. And it looked, if I had to guess, based on the way it was set up that I could see, which wasn't much. Your light grenade didn't do a whole lot because it skirted under the bed, and then the little ooey gooey decided to jump out at me.
Well, it sounds to me like either A, they're conducting research in there because from your description, they don't sound like the native population, or B, the the official explanation of nuclear weapon isn't correct and it was a biological warfare. The only way that we can find this out is by C. Everybody has a blaster, put it on stun. We go in with glow sticks, throw them around, shoot everything that moves, stun it, drag it to the ship, and start some proper experimentation.
Well, there's a dead one down there. If we can't get a
Hmm.
live one, we know for a fact and I know there's at least one more down there.
Well, all right. And he'll check the door. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're coming up, so they're obviously frightened. Okay.
Disengaged.
Hmm.
Fine. Stay here.
I mean,
It's all
yeah,
right.
but make sure you don't pull the pin.
Tessara
Alright.
pulls her bow out and her arrows and gets ready with them.
Professor, we'll need you on lights.
Yeah,
So
that's
if you'd be
fine.
so kind, if you'd be so
He'll
kind as to undo the door.
sure. He'll undo the door. And then he'll also put on his big ass shoulder mounted light. Be like, wait, did you guys get the suits from my ship?
Yes.
Okay, I'll walk over to Hadaza and poke her shoulder. There's a light there.
Fully.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Tessara turns on hers as well.
There you go. All right. Now, how do you want to do room clearing 101? So here's how we do it. We open up the door. One of you look left, one of you look right. I'll look in the middle, okay? And you sweep from the left to the right, making sure that when you first enter a room, you always check the hard corners and you let your eyes sweep in. Anything that moves, you shoot it.
All right.
Okay. Are we ready? I'm going to open up the doors.
Okay. You throw open the doors, and are you going to execute the professor's plan?
That is the plan.
Okay.
He's the soldier.
So I need all three of you to roll spot.
Pardon me, I'm not in roll 20. That's my bad.
Okay, so are we rolling the way that you came up with? Or should we not do that?
Yes, you're going to roll the way I came up with.
And that's just D20 plus our modifiers?
No, it's D20 plus your modifiers, plus if you go to the pinned, if your rank is 5, then you get a 5 to 10, you get a plus 1d4. Rank 10 to 15, you get a 2d4. 15 or greater, you get 3d4.
How do I do that?
So the example would be, let's see, I'm going to screen share this.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so you're going to go over to your D20.
Yep.
And you roll D20.
Okay.
Then let's say we're going to add 2d4. You're going to roll 2d4. And you will add the results, which would be 19 plus 4 is 23. Plus, if we go over to the professor.
Hi.
Actually, no, I won't use the professor because we'll use we'll use Caleb.
Okay, so I got a 27.
Yeah, so we'll go over here, and Caleb has a total of 6. So we add 6 to 23 is 29.
And I don't get those bonuses, correct?
Only if your ranks meet the appropriate levels.
None of them do. I'm not high enough level.
Okay.
So I get a 24 plus 5 is a 29.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, hold on a second, because you rolled your skill. So that's
you told me to roll a spot.
right. So you get 24. That's the
Okay, fine.
Yeah, well, we're having problems with the spot, the dice rolls from the skill itself.
Okay, so I rolled a d20 that got a 6. I have a 6 total in spot, so that's 12. And I roll a d4 for what?
All right, say that one more time, please.
I rolled a 6 for the d20, and I have 6 total bonuses on spot.
Not your bonuses, your ranks. How many do you have in your rank?
3.
Then you don't get nothing. It's the ranks, not the total bonuses, the ranks.
Okay, so 6 plus 3, so 9.
Okay. I did not see your dice rolls.
They're on roll 20.
Yeah.
Am I not seeing it?
I don't see it either.
Oh.
Tasara, can you please re-roll?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
I love you guys.
We love you too, Talon.
I rolled a 9. Can you guys see it now?
Nope.
Great. Hold on.
Make sure in your selection of rolling, you don't just have self-roll, you have to public.
Well, I'm trying to do this on an iPad, so it's...
I was gonna see Tassara. I don't even see you in roll 20.
No, I
that's true.
yeah, I don't see her either. Hey, how about this? I'll go ahead and roll for you, Tasara.
Thank you, because obviously something is very wrong.
Okay, so you have 6, right?
No, I have 3 ranks in spot.
Right, but what's your total modifiers? 6?
Yes.
Okay, so you have a 9.
Okay.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch? Nein.
One home.
Now, I have a question for you, Mike. I have a feat called Sharp-Eyed, and my notes say it's a +2 on all search and sense motive, but I'm not rolling search, I'm rolling spot, so it's not...
Correct, it's not applicable.
Okay.
So the difference between spot and search is as you walk in and you're looking around, that's spot. Search is physically moving items, opening up things, opening up drawers, looking behind stuff. That's search.
Okay, cool.
All right. I apologize for that delay, guys. So Professor and Hadassah, you both rolled over the DC. As you guys kick in, I'm going to lay this out. You have Tasara on the left, Professor in the middle, Hadassah on the right. Is that correct?
Yar.
Okay. So Hadassah from the right against the far wall, you see all these different bunk beds, and there's alcoves leading to other chambers that kind of go down, and you see nestled against the wall and leading down into these other chambers. And Professor, it's the same with you. Beyond the immediate area of bunks, you see alcoves and pathways leading down. Both of you see all these faces, twisted, hideous, skin rotting faces looking back at you. Dozens of them. Tasara, all you see are these glowing eyes.
Okay.
Okay, well, speaking in Cybes I'll say hi.
You hear a giggling. And
All
then
right.
Yeah,
and then the giggling grows as more giggle.
And then I'm just going to throw my flashbang.
Okay. Where are you throwing it?
As far as I can to the greatest concentration eyes.
Okay. Do you have tactics, Professor?
I have knowledge warfare. Art of war. So that's as tactics as I have.
Okay. I'm thinking here. Give me an intelligence.
Okay.
Give me an intelligence check.
Sure.
And then half
31.
Okay. Well, no, that's knowledge of war, not intelligence.
Don't use your skill. Use something else.
Well,
all right.
no, the reason why is because they're two different things. That's why I was going to give you half of your bonuses for Art of War to your intelligence check.
Wait, what? What do you mean there's different things? There's no knowledge tactics.
There is a knowledge tactics.
And where's the knowledge war?
That I think you came up with on your own, which is fine with me. I have no problems with that. The way I look at it is a more broader application, like Sun Tzu's book would be.
Yeah, the Art of War.
Right. So that would be more. strategic.
I didn't know that there was a difference, man.
Yeah, it's okay. The game actually has modifiers for how to use knowledge tactics. But
Oh, well, that's what I want to do.
yeah, but like I said, don't worry. I'm going to give you half of whatever your bonuses are.
Okay, well, we'll talk about this later so I can get my cheat adjusted. And I'm at 7, so just subtract 7 from that. Easy.
Okay, no, so that's plenty easy. Looking around, not Duro, sorry. Looking around, Professor,
Wow.
as you're holding this flashbang and you're coming up with your course of action, you're realizing that if they swarm you, you are in a losing situation. If you're on the other side of the door, you control their approach. But as far as you know, even if it's just the ones in the center where you're about to throw the grenade, if they swarm you, this is a losing situation.
All right. Close the door.
So you're gonna pull them back and close the door on the outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when you do room clearing, usually you sweep in the door frame and check. So if we step in and I see all that, I'm just going to pull them right back out.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were on the same sheet of music.
Yep.
Okay.
Hadaza turns around and says, "Still going down?" She says it with deadpan sarcasm.
Absolutely. You first.
After you.
Oh,
Besides,
it's
age
called
before
lady
beauty.
first.
Age before beauty.
Well, in that you fall short.
Really?
Oh no, she's gonna leave him there to rot. She's gonna spin on her heels and fucking walk off.
Hadaza, wait.
He'll close the door and just tie the grenade back there and walk away.
Hadaza, wait.
Giggling freaks. Ugh.
I warned you.
You didn't say there was that many.
I said
She
I
looks
didn't,
at
and
him
she
like,
whirls
"Are you
around on him
kidding me?"
again and says, "I told you I didn't know how many more there were. I told you it was unsafe. You insisted on going down there anyway. You're the soldier, so I listened. You know what? Don't second guess that next go around. I promise you."
Well, I mean, you sound like you're whiny.
Okay. Here's the not whining then. Fight me. She whirls around and walks off again.
Where and when?
Oh, for heaven.
She
The
spins
two of you,
around.
seriously.
I'm just saying, between Tassara freaking out and trying to prevent me from providing support for you, and you having a problem with just going back into a dangerous situation, you're not really impressing me much. And I'll just walk past them.
It's called tactics, you jackass.
Yeah? Show some.
I did. I shut the door behind me and walked away.
Such a fantastic tactic. Is that what you use all the time?
Wait.
You-
She whips around. She's listening.
Up on a higher level, as you guys were walking away back up the stairs, you see one of the creatures you saw in the basement, but it's different. Looking down and has like this look on its face, like a humorous look. Don't stop. Those two are funny.
Who are you?
Tilts a head sideways. I am. I don't remember who I am.
Who are you talking to?
She
And
points
what
up.
language is it speaking?
Would Tassara be able to tell, out of character, would Tassara be able to tell what language is being spoken?
No, you can only understand.
So she looks at them and she points up to where this person is. Can you see him?
And you see one of these creatures waving back.
Oh, that's refreshing. At least
He's-
it's not another Astra moment.
He's more intelligent than the ones in the basement.
He or she?
It looks like a he to me.
Well, I mean, there's two ways of finding that out. I don't want to experiment on either of them.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, you
Can
do.
you? Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
She
There,
Yeah, I
looks up
mean,
at him and she tries to speak back to him. Well, you wanted more. There you go.
I wouldn't go back in there.
yeah, I'm not planning on. Wait, no, I can't hear that.
Yes, you
No.
can.
Wait, do I
Oh, wait.
understand it?
Yes, you can understand Cybisty.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
We have no plans on returning down there.
Yeah, I really don't want to. What I'm looking for is information on what happened because this doesn't look like the result. I mean, really, you do not look like the result of a nuclear explosion.
What's a nuclear explosion?
Okay, so it's when a giant bomb goes off, a wave of heat and fire and concussion, and tends to melt people in place.
Oh, that's what happened.
Oh, okay. Well, how are you alive?
I don't know.
That's a good point.
Are you alive? Do you feel your heart beating? Are you breathing?
Um, yes. I'm hungry.
For delicious cupcakes?
Are you a cupcake?
No, I am not a cupcake, but I have cupcakes.
The last people that came through they were delicious.
And he's gonna keep walking.
She looks
Wait.
at
I'm all for chewing the fat, but you're talking about a fat I don't like chewing.
Well,
Tasara turns to Hadaza and says, and is translating now.
Tasara speaks enough Cybisty that she can follow that conversation?
No, well, yeah, she understands. She is translating what she understands to you.
Okay.
it'll
Not
follow
in
you.
Cybisty, in basic. She's translating what she's hearing into basic to you.
The creature appears smaller, but not significantly smaller than the adults of this species, and it will follow you.
Wait a minute. Wait. Back the horse up. Is it the indigenous species of this planet?
If
Gooey?
a gooey, it's a gooey zombified representation of the species of this planet.
Glenn.
She looks at the professor. Yeah, they are flesh eaters. It's time to move on.
They won't come.
Oh,
They won't come out. Not when the light's up.
hey, that's great information.
If he's following us, let us introduce him to Handyman, shall we?
It's
I don't really want to be cannibalized today.
Is Handyman tasty?
Yes, incredibly tasty.
Hmm.
Tell you what,
Is he tasty like the others?
if you allow us to do some brief inspection on your physical being without biting any of us, I will get you something delicious. That'll be a tip for tat.
What others? Can you describe them?
Well,
Somebody translate. I don't speak Cybisty.
I'll translate for you.
well,
Yourself useful.
they're not like you. They were orange skin, and but they dress like her, pointing to Hadaza.
Well, I'm dressed like them. How do you tell the difference?
And they wanted to look for something, and they found me, and they said that they would pay me handsomely for to lead them.
Leading them to what?
They wanted the central bank.
And where's the central bank?
Oh, you don't want to go there.
What happened?
The vault didn't close all the way, and everybody there hiding came out like me, but not like me.
What makes you different?
I don't know.
But you're able to talk, and they're only able to laugh.
That's what the sound they make when they right before they attack.
Well, that's good to know.
And so I led them there and waited for one or two of the survivors to come out so I could feed, and they were tasty.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I set you up a pre-game buffet next time they try to open up that door.
Oh, those don't taste good.
Oh. Okay. And we're walking still. I'm just clarifying. We're not stopping to have a nice little chat in the middle of Strangeland.
And we're walking. Where
Mm-hmm.
are we gonna go for something tasty?
We are, in fact. I'm going to take you to meet Handyman, and we're going to do a little bit of investigating.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And
Can
then we're going to give you something tasty.
can I have one of them? He points to Hadaz and Tazara.
No, you don't fuck with my harem.
But you have two.
Yeah, and that's my selfishness.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
He frowns.
It's all right. It's good to feel bad.
I feel hungry.
Hunger is a state of mind that we can change for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a name?
I do. I am Captain Professor Kenobi.
Not Cupcake?
No, cupcake is what I deliver, not what I am.
Is one of them Cupcake?
Not out in public.
Sorry. Sorry, I translated that.
Ask how many more are like you?
There's there's some on the north side, and there's a bunch at the old subway station.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty nice and they share. The all the tasty people like you left.
You ate them all.
Only those that were like tasty.
Doesn't it ever feel boring that you only have yourself to talk to?
Well, that's why you and the cupcake, when y'all were talking, that was funny.
Yeah. Don't you want to keep people that can talk around rather than just delicious snacks?
Well, there's those at the subway station. They talk.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Like you.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Is there a museum around here?
Yes.
Well, how far is it?
It's on the other side of the crater where the government building used to be.
How long ago were the orange skin people here?
2 or 3 days ago.
Is that when everything blew up?
Oh no, that was months ago.
Really? You've been surviving for months?
Oh. Eating.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Eating what?
And he'll look right at Hadaza and smile.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you see cupcakes?
Well, right after everything fell, they were here. Some came looking and
Heading to my ship.
and when night came, there was screaming and a lot of them left. None of the tasty ones, none of the tasty ones survive. Just those like me and like the other ones. Those that don't talk. They're more that don't talk than like me.
Must be
And
sad.
how many of the orange skin people were there here?
Oh, there was 4.
How many left?
Uh, I have one.
Oh, you do have one. Is it still alive?
Uh-huh.
Really? And where? I'd love to ask them some questions before you chew the fat.
Um uh um at my house.
Really? And you weren't going to invite us over like a proper host?
Would you like to come over to my house?
It depends. How far is it from here?
It's closer than the museum, but
And how
Mm.
how many others live with you?
well, there's me and my my cupcake and
It's gonna stick.
there's the others, but they don't bother me or my cupcake. They just kind of moan around all day and all night, and they don't even sleep. They just walk around moaning and groaning and
Giggling?
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Well, tell you what. Why don't we go and have a nice little party? I'll bring some cupcakes over to your place and we'll have a conversation. But I want you to, how can I say this?
Gently.
Here, take, and I'll put something down and step back. Take that
And he'll pick it up.
and go home and we'll meet you there. Go
Okay.
on the roof. Go on the roof. The roof with the cupcake. I will meet you there in a few minutes.
Oh, can I take one of the cupcakes with me?
No. These are my cupcakes. We had this conversation.
He frowns.
All right. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Bye.
And he runs off.
And he looks
the
to
homing with the
Hadaza and
beacon.
to Sarah.
Mm.
So, who's ready for a rescue mission? Sub-vocally. So it's not loud.
Mm-hmm. Rescue mission?
Yeah,
If
well,
they're still alive, then yes.
yeah, we take the cupcake, we interrogate the cupcake, and we all smile and clap. Oh, I don't plan on playing fair.
Oh, I didn't think so.
All right, good. Which one of you is wants to use a blaster turret?
She looks at Tassara.
A blaster. I'm sorry, out of character. What's a blaster turret?
It's so on my ship. I have these little nubs that come up, and you go inside of it, and it lets you shoot things with a
Ah,
giant turbo laser.
okay, so it's something that's on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
clarify. Out of character, I'm dumb.
Mm.
Well, I have good aim.
Excellent. Well, we're going to use that today. And we're going to play unfair because fair.
Well, how many more hours are left until nighttime?
Well, being since the man is gleefully walking back home to do as I asked with a beacon on him, I don't think we really have to worry about staying in the city. We're going to go in the ship and be in the ship. You know, not eaten by whatever the fuck are these in these buildings.
I'm all for that.
And then tomorrow, when the sun's up, you want to try investigating the museum?
No, I'm not planning on staying here at all.
Okay.
Yeah, we're moving on. This is not happening.
Oh,
All right.
what's the matter, Professor? Don't feel like being devoured?
I mean, let's talk later about that, but not here.
Ugh, jeez. All right, let's go.
Ah.
Hadassah started it.
Not it.
Too late. Already
Okay,
divulged
so
responsibility.
We
I'm
are
already
heading
touching
back
my
to the
nose.
ship now.
I don't know. It's up to the traveler to depend on how long it takes for us to travel.
Okay, so you do end up reaching your ship, and everything is set up, and you are positioning yourself. You get the beacon, and
Uh huh.
you can see him on your targeting sensor, standing on the rooftop of a burned out building, waving. He's got a big old smile on his face.
Uh huh. And where's the other person?
What do you mean, other person?
It's Cupcake.
I told him to go on the roof with the cupcake.
Oh, hold on.
Thank you.
Let me see if he's that smart.
He knew what the professor meant when he said cupcake
Mm-hmm.
because he told it back to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, you do see a figure on the rooftop that is not one of these creatures.
Does it have
Uh-huh.
orange skin?
It does appear to have orange skin.
Looky what we
Okay.
have here.
Does it stand up on its own? Like, is it standing of its own will?
No, it's laying on the ground.
How
Yeah.
close?
Laying on the ground on the roof?
Yeah.
How close to the guy?
Not far. I mean, reaching distance, but not terribly reaching distance.
And Sal, to Sarah, you feel like you got this shot, or do you need me to make it easier?
I've got it. If you want me to forego the person laying on the ground, I can obliterate that entire building with this thing.
I don't want you to obliterate the entire building with it. I want you to, you know what? Here's what I want you to do. Why don't you just do the same thing we did when we rescued Ryan?
Okay. That would require us flying much closer.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Okay, so
We,
you
we
don't
have to
want me
get
to use
close to the. No, I don't want you to blast him with the thing. It's just too close. It's just too close. So we'll get closer, open up the bay, look like we're gonna pick him up. You shoot him. We go run over. We rescue him. They're gonna groan and pop out of the top of that door over there, and we're gonna have a short, intense moment of ah. All right.
Well, I would like when we get closer with the ship to attempt to pick up this person with the orange skin by the use of force.
Hadaza, are you capable of this?
Yes.
Okay, so Hadaza does the tugging and you do the plugging. We'll call this the tug and plug plan.
Okay, out of
Something you're
character.
intimately familiar with, I assume.
Out of character. Did you guys hear what I just said?
We have to get much closer to the building.
And I said when we get closer to the building, I would like to use move object to try and pick the person up.
And we confirmed that plan and then shifted it to Hadaza lifting so you could concentrate on your bowmanship.
Okay.
I can't do a move
I was
object.
just going to say
Oh,
that.
I just asked Hadaza if you could do the lift thing, and you said yes.
I can lift. I can't move object.
Oh,
That's
I
what
hate
confused the hell
Jedi.
out of
All of
me.
you. I hate all of you.
I'm not a Jedi.
I hate it. I just hate it. I frickin' I use English words, and you come at me with no. I can do this, but I can't do that.
Okay.
Not a
So the
Jedi.
plan is we get closer on the ship. Tessara uses move object to lift the body off of the floor.
And I have your back with my blaster.
Yes.
Okay, fine. It's still the tug and plug. It's just a little.
I'm
Strike
doing
that.
the
Reverse
tugging
it.
and she's
Thank
doing
you.
the plug.
Yeah, flip it and reverse it. Yeah, Hadaz is doing the plugging, and Tassara's doing the tugging.
Exactly.
Not saying anything.
You
All right.
know.
So do we move the ship closer, or is Handyman driving?
Yeah, I'll be there. Do, 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 do. Go down into the. You two need to be down there. See you in a bit. Don't die. And when he's alone, he's just gonna light up a cigar and say, "Mmm, Ah. I love it when a plan comes together.
So
Hadaza looks over at Tasara. I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah, I don't recommend that, although I completely understand your sentiment.
So you guys go ahead and Tasara, I'm not gonna make you roll because all you can do is take 10 and you got this. And you see the little creature like my cupcake, and he's like rushing after the body that's or the person that's being lifted out. Hadaza,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Well, we're gonna fire at him.
Okay, roll to hit.
29 damage
That-
of 9.
That's a hit.
Yo,
And
Mishka, that artwork is fire.
and you go ahead and you hit, and he falls back, and you bring the orange skin creature into the ship.
And we lift up.
Okay.
You're not gonna take one of them too, Professor?
No. No. Wait, how are you talking to me? Oh, yeah, I forgot we have comm links.
Comlinks.
So
Yeah.
Tasara heads immediately for where that person is to check that they are alive or not.
The handyman should be with you to take care of the medical. Just
Yep.
escort. Oh, who gave Hadaza a comm link?
Duro did.
Yeah, remind me to talk to Dura later.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Handyman and Tasara get to where this person in orange, where the orange skin is, right?
Yes.
Is this person alive?
Yes, considering the fact that the person is missing the lower part from like the hip down on the left leg, the right arm, pieces of the torso. It looks like something's been feeding on this person.
Wow, I just feel awful betraying the cannibal.
So
So pitch him a cupcake and wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, no. I'm gone. Bye.
All right.
Hadaza, you want to get in the turret and shoot that?
Sure can.
Yep, thank you. Make sure you blast the entire building, too.
Done.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pause you guys there. Duro, Astro, we don't have a whole lot of time. I want to ask if Duro has if you have to go to bed anytime soon.
Yes, I have work in the morning.
Oh shoot. How about this? Let me go ahead and next session on Saturday, we'll start off with you two, okay? Unless there's something important. Actually, no, wait. There is something important you wanted to have. Duro, I'm going to have you have an opportunity to talk to the professor because you did specifically say you want to talk to him this gaming session.
And I am available. So start on the flight deck right now.
Yeah, so to keep continuity, this would be happening that night as the professor is leaving the capital.
So have we reunited, or is this just evening when everybody's done their day activities?
Wait, this is evening already? Shit.
So this will be happening at the end of the day after everyone's done all their craziness, and you'll be communicating via comlink.
And we're flying to the next point. We'll be back.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So
all right.
the two parties are not together yet.
Correct.
Not yet.
You're talking over comlink.
Unless you specifically call him before the end of nighttime and ask him to bring the chip back.
No, I do not think we need anything off the ship. When we made this plan, probably in and out of character, I was expecting the party to be back by the end of the day.
Oh.
I thought we were leaving the planet the next day.
Yeah, that's why I gave you your shuttle. I didn't say we were leaving the planet on the same ship together.
Well, then that's something that should be said in character.
Well, now you have that chance. You're talking to him over the comlink.
All right, so Duro called, Professor answered.
Mm-hmm.
Has everything gone according to plan? I would have expected you to be back by now.
Well, we ran into a race of cannibalistic locals.
Sounds tasty.
You know, they really wanted to take a bite out of crime.
I'm sure they did. Perhaps you could interest them in a diet of sweet confectionaries instead of, well, human flesh.
Yeah, we did. It was called the laser cannon.
Not as sweet as your baked goods, but I'm sure they will adapt.
Oh, they'll be fine.
Anyway, I had some interesting discoveries today. I wanted to know what the plan is, since again I expected you to be back.
Okay, well, the plan is we're going to continue exploring the world and trying to find information. And now that we know the batch of locals are a bunch of cannibals, I'm uh, kind of at a crossroads here. Because on one hand, we can do this investigation with a smaller body, but it's not safe. And now I understand why 4 ships were in the same area. They kind of neglected to mention the whole nom nom.
Are those locals that are affected by the disaster, or were the locals cannibals even before they got hit?
You know, I didn't have an in depth sit down conversation with a cannibal to find out.
I'm beginning to think your mind is not as open as I was led to believe, Professor.
You know, there is this thing, it's called diplomacy. I liked using it. And when I got to the end of the olive branch, I used the end of it to whack him.
Fair.
So, what's on your mind, Doro? You seem like you're a man weighed down with heavy thoughts.
Well, I made some headway with Astra. That was the main thing I wanted to talk to you about, but this is something I felt was best done in person, especially since it may affect our ongoing journey. Are we still leaving the planet tomorrow, or do you intend to explore?
We have That'll be our third day. We'll leave at the end of the third day. I'll have the ship back there so we can all depart. That is my intention, mind you, as long as we don't run into any trouble that requires you to hop in the shuttle and come to us.
All right, well, keep me appraised. Is there anything Astra and I need to accomplish tomorrow while you two are, or while your party is out poking around the ruins?
Continue healing. That was the terms of my agreement with Fleet Admiral.
I thought today was the last day of the healing.
No, this is the second day. The third day is the last day. 3 days.
Ah, I misunderstood.
Yeah, else I would have been there to pick you up.
Gotcha. All right,
So,
well,
what's up
that
with Astra?
so well, in the interest of keeping a long story short, I was taught by one of Master Palpatine's students that an ability that allows me to communicate in a more detailed manner than the normal telepathy with someone with whom I have a personal connection.
Okay.
I was able to forge such a connection with Astra, and I learned that her friends are actually distinct personalities in her head, separate from her. I
Mm-hmm.
do not have a lot of details, but they are their own beings. Your theory was correct as to how they came about. They are aspects of her personality that have been there for varying amounts of time, but whatever happened to her on Lannis seems to have partially split them off. They developed their own personalities, their own individual set of memories and knowledge. They're no
So they're
longer,
parasites.
perhaps, I'm not sure.
Because you got to figure at the end of the day, they're struggling to live, and the only way that they can live is by perpetuating their existence in the soil that is Astra's mindscape. So at some point, let's just breaking this down. If we support them, they will eat Astra from within, proven by their growing stronger and more independent as time passes. Do you know anything about DID,
I'm afraid I do not.
dissociative identity disorder?
No, I don't.
So, are you sure that by forging a link with Astra, your communication with them isn't impacted some way by them being Astra at her core and just separate personalities that have developed based on independence? Or are they force ghosts that have been that you can see using the force as separate entities that you can see?
Truthfully, I don't have the answer to any of that.
It's just food for thought, Doro. I absolutely respect you coming to me and letting me know about your ongoing investigation, but it doesn't change my end goal of a healthy, whole, complete Astra.
Well, that is my end goal as well. The fact of the matter is, any medical professional will agree that the wishes of the patient are also to be heavily considered, strongly considered.
Sure, if you
Um,
want to if you want to fly back to the inner regions with her, you're more than welcome to. I will miss you. She's welcome to take the shuttle as well, but if she doesn't take the medication, this is where we split.
Are you sure about that? If
Considering
I,
the fact that Ashanti has proven herself to not care one whit about any of the teammates under my command, any of the Swan Song, yes. When is Ashanti going to pop out and decide that in a murderous rage she wants to take revenge on me, for example, for continuing the medication supply? Are you going to assume 100% responsibility on her actions and where she is on the ship at all times and stand next to her while she's not on medication while you work through this?
I am planning on helping her work through this. I have some leads as to how it could be done, but she is adamant that she does not want to take the medication, and frankly, I feel uncomfortable forcing her to do so against her will.
I
And
feel you on that. On a personal level, and this is strictly between you and me, Doro, and should not be repeated to anybody, but I do not exactly enjoy the idea of killing sentience. However, and I say this with a heavy heart, Astra's whim and will is not a whole whim and will. She is being manipulated on a constant basis. Let's just look at Ashanti when she was out. Not a single kind word, even to Astra. So she's an emotional abuser who's working relentlessly behind the scenes to manipulate and corrupt her very being. They'll say anything they want in order to support their perspective. And no, I can't trust her on my ship if she's not on medication because I don't know when one of them will pop out freely and decide sabotage is the answer. And unless you can guarantee this, which would be impossible, as you well know, because you must sleep at some point, and while sleeping, that has, by her own admission, been the time in which they have been able to take over her body. There will be a time in which this will happen. I see this, and the game I play is I'm protecting Hadaza and Tassara. It's not nice, but in leadership, you will find that you need to make hard, brutal choices that will cost people their mind, body, and soul.
well, you certainly don't have to tell me that.
I knew you had a soldier's eye.
Yes, well, Astra is likely to choose to leave our presence in or rather than take the medication, and I cannot in good conscience leave her on her own as her Jedi master,
Well,
which places you in quite a bind, I understand.
it does. I mean, in the long term, I'd prefer if we continued traveling on the ship together. I would like that. Honestly, I feel if she doesn't want to take the medication after lying to my face saying she would, then I've lost nothing by her absence.
Nothing except the only two Force users who are capable of piloting your ship through this section of space.
Yeah, we'll be hindered and we'll most likely lose, and the swarm will win.
So there is no compromise we can come to regarding this issue.
If she can guarantee that she is whole and cleansed, that's fantastic. She's more than welcome on the ship. If she wants to be on my ship, she'll take the medication, and as we work out the issue, being since the medication seems to work as a suppressant and allows her to remain in control. If she chooses not to and wants to indulge in her psychosis, then she's free to do so in your shuttle. And if you choose to go with her, that is your choice. I am not responsible for what you choose to do. I would like to say I'd like to continue moving together forward, but the reason I made this a hard line to begin with, Thoro, is at the end of the day, people can say whatever they want to say, but it's actions that matter. You telling me that Astra would lie to my face and say she'll take the medicine so she can continue on the journey and continue the treatment, but that somehow this indulgence in her internal worldview has validated her so that she moves forward and she wants to continue moving forward in the direction of enabling the voices inside of her head. That means that she's leaving credence to it. And that to me means that she doesn't really want to be healed. She wants to explore her new ability and treat it like a toy. If she wants to treat it like a toy, she's welcome to do so. You have a day. Cancel everything else. Don't heal, sit with her for a full day and explore that psychosis completely. Because when I come, if she's not taking the medication, I'll give you guys enough supplies to make it to the inner region.
I think your analysis is flawed. She wants to be healed. She wants to be whole. But she does not want to simply suppress whatever has happened. Whatever has happened, I think, is deeper than anything that's psychology or, for lack of a better term, non-force based medicine can explain. The force is vast and mysterious, and even those that wield it cannot ever hope to fully understand it. And it is understood even less by those who do not touch it and immerse themselves in it on a daily basis. I
Yes, I know
truly,
I'm force retarded.
that is not what I'm saying, Professor. I truly feel that you are missing something, that there is something to this. In my What I'm trying to do is not to enable anything. I wish to heal her by repairing what has been broken, bringing together the disparate parts into one complete whole, rather than chopping off the separated parts and leaving them for lost, leaving Astra less than what she was before this accident occurred on Lannis.
Mm-hmm.
That does take time, and it does take effort. Effort and their time, at least, I'm hoping that you are willing to give us.
You have a day to prove your theory. If you can come to me and you can give me more than my force feelings told me so, then we'll have a sit down talk about reevaluating the terms and conditions of the ship. It is a fair cop and more, well, honestly, it's more enabling of something that I would really and truly like to point out has done nothing to convince that the safety of the ship will be secure based on the trial run of Ashante in control. And who had Ashanti had to forfeit control in order for Astra to come out. And this is with medication. So that means without it, she was stronger and able to do it whenever she wanted.
From my understanding, Astra was able to take back control without the medication. It was the medication that made Astra unable to take back control of her own volition.
Then does that mean Astra is the real Astra? Or is Ashante the real Astra?
From what I've experienced, I believe Astra is the real Astra.
If that was true, then she would have been able to take over her body again, just like Ashanti was able to, staying strong. You're telling me that your Padawan is either A, as weak as the aspects inside of her, or B, weaker.
I do not have all the answers, Professor, and the answers I do have are based on my experiences joining joining minds with her and talking to some of these fragments. If you want more evidence than what the Force tells me, well, I cannot guarantee I'll have it for you, and I would respectfully point out that, especially to those that wield it, the Force is just as real as anything else that physically exists. To dismiss what the Force tells us as somehow beneath your scientific method is, well, the height of hubris.
A fair cop, if I was dismissing it. I'm asking you to do what a scientist does, prove your theory, nothing more or less. And as a master of the arts, you should be able to.
You specifically said, prove it beyond my force feelings tell me so. That
Right.
sounded
That
like a
means it has to be replicatable. That means that if you're going to go in, you're going to talk to these individuals that have their own unique aspects, then what we know of them, for example, Sabine or Ashante, should be, if they're not just aspects of Astra that have splintered from them, have a basis of information that is rooted, mind you, from their prior experiences as a full and complete being. Meaning, Ashante should know her own homeworld. Ashante should be able to tell you individual experiences that Astra would not be aware of with her Force Jedi training doctrine that she got from the Academy. And so should Sabine. And you should be able to, doing your force walk, go in and have a conversation with them and ask them these pointed questions, which if you would like, I could offer you some suggestions to help because I want you to succeed, Dora. I want you to prove me wrong. That's what you don't understand. I want you to prove me wrong. So let's ask these pointed questions. You have a day. We'll do it together. And then we'll reevaluate whether they are their own individuals that truly have developed, or they're parts of her mind that are being told to run individual programs, weakening the total sum of her part until we reset her to her original core programming, which is her own mind in control and everything else gone. Just like my head and just like yours.
She's not a droid, Professor. She is a living, breathing person.
With voices in her head telling her things. You know why we reprogram droids?
To avoid the development of personality.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have many personalities that are being developed right now and no rewrite. So, hard questions, direct with your abilities as a master of the Force and your connection, which, by the way, sounds phenomenal. I am a little envious. And then you write down these answers. Don't, corrupt the data by informing Astro of the full and complete history of things before you ask these questions. And then ask these questions to them through the Force, and then come back to me and tell me what you found. Is that a fair compromise between science and mystic?
It misses the part of, or the fundamental aspect of what I was trying to tell you. Ashanti is not Ashanti, the Sith Lord or the Sith warrior that Astra learned about at the Academy. He started out as an aspect of Astra's personality, her rage, I believe would be the best way to put it. Rage at the injustices of growing up in an orphanage, of being bullied. It was only on Lannis when she accidentally mind walked that Ashanti became her own thing. She used Astra's historical knowledge of the Sith warrior Ashanti and the ancient Sith code to fashion herself after a Sith warrior, but she is not Ashanti. She was she's, for lack of a better analogy, a clone of Astra that is now her own person. I can't ask her where her home world is because Astra didn't know. And so Ashanti, that side of her personality, didn't know. So I already know the answers I would get would, in your mind, solidify your own theory that they are simply voices in her head and not distinct personalities. But
Let's
when
say
I
we live in a perfect world and none of her aspects feel like vengeance is the path and they want to kumbaya together. What is your treatment plan then? Reduce medication down to neutral baseline, reset, all personalities are operating at full capacity, and you would.
well, as I understand it now, my hope is that she can make peace with these personalities and they with her, and that they can be reintegrated, become what they were before her accident online. Just parts of her personality that she wasn't even aware were there. That is my hope. As for what I will discover the more I talk to them and investigate, I don't know how that will change the treatment plan going forward. What I do know is that while meditating this morning on before going to or this evening after returning from healing, I again your mileage may vary on this, it was a vision, but I got the distinct feeling that we are not where we are supposed to be. When it comes to fighting the swarm, we are sidetracked off the path that we must follow to fight the swarm and keep them at bay. I also saw a vision of an image of a world that we can reach where a lot of answers can be found, in particular regarding Astra and what has happened to her, but I sense it too is an offshoot of the path we need to be on. It has nothing to do with the swarm or how to fight it. It would only be for Astra's well being.
The fundamental well being of every single member of my retinue, the swan song, is important to me. However, we're unilaterally tearing resources from what should be directed to the swarm away from the swarm.
Yes, well, we are doing that on this world as well as whatever world I saw in my vision.
Well, yeah, we tend to get sidetracked helping people, but by helping people, we're also helping ourselves. So,
Yes, I know. I realize that when reflecting on my vision, we've helped a lot of people here, and we, as far as I understand it, gained a lot of useful information about this area of space and the political situation in this sector.
yeah, it boils down to might makes right, and nobody trusts nobody.
All right, I will take the day to find what I can. I would ask you to at least consider allowing us to accompany you, or you accompany us, however you want to see it, to the world I saw in my vision. If answers are to be found there for Astra, then perhaps after that world she will be stable enough to continue the journey with us, with your blessing. We could certainly use her in our fight against the swarm.
I'd have to talk to Ashante if she's going to remain on the ship, because you can say whatever Astra feels like, but at the end of the day, she's the primary malcontent.
I will see what I can arrange.
Yes, prepare that talk, because that one's going to be the critical decision whether she continues the journey on my ship or she continues the journey on your shuttle.
Very well, Professor.
It's been a pleasure speaking with Doriel. And regardless of our different stances, there's a reason that you're in a position of leadership. I trust your perspective. I don't understand or put as much value in the Force as you do, but I respect that as a master of your craft, that you understand you're speaking to. Like, if we were going to have a conversation about making a cupcake.
Yes, exactly. I would defer to your wider knowledge base.
Exactly. I respect you.
I appreciate that, Professor. I will let you get back to whatever you and your team are doing at the
Oh,
moment.
yeah. Before we hang up, we got a live one. Somebody came in to rob their bank afterwards and got ate by cannibals. But we got one of them. So we're going to talk to them. I'll let you know how that pans out. They're in the med bay. They look like a half-eaten popsicle stick.
Oh, you rescued one.
Yeah. You
Oh,
know, we have a habit of picking up strays.
I've noticed. Well, you will have to let me know what you find out.
I will. Smooches.
May the force be with you, Professor.
And he'll hang up.
All right, I think I'm gonna wrap it right there. Anybody have Q&A?
Logistically, I do.
I'm all ears.
So, right now, as it stands, Tassara and Hadaza and the professor and Handyman are on his ship. They are leaving the city they were in and heading back to where Duro and Astra are right now. Is that right?
No, that's incorrect. So you guys are leaving the capital in the professor's ship, heading to the next point on the professor's map where he wants to explore. Now, what that point is, I'll talk with Talon after this game, and we'll figure that out.
Okay, good. This is why I'm asking these questions. So thank you.
And
You're
we
welcome.
started heading that way after we rescued the person. We didn't wait till nightfall, which is good because it means we'll have more time.
Yes.
Yes, agreed. So this person that is in the med bay, I'm assuming that we're going to wait until Saturday night to play any kind of scene with them.
Let me talk to what I'm thinking about is one of two things. Either A, we can do an in between with the three of y'all and the rescuee, or we can do this as a live scene. It depends on, because I know the professor will want to be there for that, and it depends on his work schedule.
Yeah.
Would it be easier, Talon, if we were to do an in between?
For the
The med
talking
bay
with
conversation.
the popsicle?
Yes.
Let's see. Give me half a second. I have my schedule up. On Saturday, I'll be fine for the game.
Okay. So, Professor, bear with me on this one here. I want you to understand my rationale for traveling at night. You're safely aboard your ship, locked up in orbit, well away from danger throughout the night. The next time when you guys land, it'll be morning of the day 3, so you're exploring during daylight.
Yeah, I definitely want to land on daybreak, but I don't want to start traveling at nighttime.
So, well, you're not technically traveling. You're just sitting in orbit in your nice cozy ship under lock and key. I mean, based off your conversation with Duro, I can't imagine you being on the ground where, a unmedicated Astra could easily reach you.
That's true. I want to stay as far away from that batch of crazy.
I figured that was going to be the case.
So
You
you
got
had
plenty
said
of
to
crazy
Duro.
sleeping on the ship right there with you.
Okay, so the next question is, the professor just gave Duro a day to prove something that's like 99% almost unprovable, and he said don't do the healing. take Astra and do whatever. I can't quite remember his wording.
Yep.
But that means then their agreement with the person, I can't remember his name, will be broken if they don't do that healing. Am I right?
That's a conversation that Duro, Astra, and I will be having sometime tomorrow.
Perfect.
Because
I
I need
just
to know what they're actually going to do.
Right, because I'm trying to keep all of this straight in my head, and those were some holes that I came up with.
Right.
Okay, I don't have any more questions.
Does anyone else have any more questions?
Yes,
Yes.
I do have a question.
Okay.
While we're nice and floating up here, can we use our sensors to get a better picture compared to the map that I have so I can get an idea of what isn't destroyed utterly?
The world itself is about 98% destroyed.
That's cute.
Yeah, there's there's places that are not destroyed. Maybe a small town here or there, but I mean, it's a global nuclear holocaust happened here.
And if you could have a familiar, what would it be?
Oh, it'd definitely be Hadaza. I mean, she's a perfect stray.
You and I are already familiar, Michael. I don't think that's a problem.
Wow.
Good times.
Hey, hats off to everybody. Y'all did a really good game. 400. However, I'm going to give Duro and Kenobi an extra 50. That conversation at the end of the game was both painful, critical, and it's all too often I see players play the game where they're like, "Oh, well, we're party members. We have to get along. We can't have differences of opinions, and these differences of opinions can't lead to conflict." And to play these scenes out where you have these differences of opinions and they're both rational and they're both anchored in what the characters believe, hats off, gentlemen. Y'all did well.
Thank you.
Michael, my character levels up, and that means I'm gonna be multi-classing. I'm gonna need to either get with you or with
I'll
you,
break it
Talon.
down with you.
Yeah, please and thank you.
That's
Okay.
why I'm a sensei.
All right,
Dang.
so before that's a good question because I'm trying to go through the game and there's some in the character sheet there's skills that are not available to regular force users, such as like force light is a Jedi skill. If it's not in the core rule book, it's not available for you to use. Okay? The only exception to the core rulebook skills is force lightning. I'm struggling with the fact that this can be used untrained. So I'm going to make the house rule that force lightning you must be trained to use this skill.
There was one other skill that you'd said that I had to be trained to use. You got 450, Talon.
Thank
The
you.
rest of us got Duro got 450. The rest of us got 400. There was one other skill, Traveler, that you said I had to be trained to use. Where were we? We were joking about having Ashanti teach it to her.
Wasn't it move object?
Oh, we've been working on that one for 3 freaking levels now, so no. What was it?
You're gonna have to help me out here because I can't remember that.
Oh, I do. You were like, Duro or Astra or Tassara has to teach it to her, and I was like, can't Ashanti teach it to me? And that we went off on a ripper in the chat.
You are okay. So when cross classing, okay. So allow me to explain this. When cross classing, or when you're a very low level character, until you have the feat to cover control, alter, and sense,
Mm.
whatever skills you want to get. So let's say you're cross classing and you're picking up your very first force training. Okay.
Yep.
So whatever skills you pick up must mirror the skills available for your teacher to teach you.
Yep.
Okay.
It was affect mind. Thank you. Yes.
Right. So whatever Tassara has available to teach you, or whatever Duro has available to teach you, you will have access to that. Then your next time you get your force training, that rule goes away for your, we'll say, sense. And let's say you pick up alter, then its alter is what's limited by what your teacher can teach you. When you go up to your next level where you get your next force training, you have control. That rule goes away for alter as well, but now it's control. You see how this tier system works?
Yes. So
Okay.
then it would. So then with this one, I pick up sense only at
And
this
then
level.
and then it's whatever Tassara has the ability to teach you, you can pick up.
Okay, I have force sense already as a feat.
Okay.
So then it would be alter
Why
or
do
control that I
why do you
pick up
have
now.
why do you have sense?
You told me that I did.
No, you have force sensitivity, not
Ah,
sense.
okay. Sorry. My
Yeah.
bad. Okay. Okay, understood.
Understood? Good?
Understood.
All right. I'm noticing a bunch of you are getting ready to level up. I will make myself available this weekend to help you guys. Please PM me and let's try and schedule everybody. And Kenobi, I want to sit down with you and talk to you the difference between art of war and strategy and tactics.
Okay.
Because I house rule strategy and I'm going to house rule art of war for you because that's something you specifically brought in. So I'm going to let you have it, but
Yeah.
I'm going to explain to you the difference between the three,
Okay.
and then and if you want to move things around and pick them up, that's fine. But
Okay.
I'll let you make that decision for your character.
Sweet.
Okay. Any other questions?
Kenobi, you have access to my sheet in roll 20, yes? Think so, yes, but
A character sheet. Yeah, I can. I can't fiddle with it, but I can say it.
I can set that up
groovy.
so you can fiddle with it.
Dun, 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 dun.
We'll need to set up a time so that we can go over the idea of
Uh,
multi-classing. This will be the first time I do this.
I have
actually,
now
actually,
and
you
not
can.
tomorrow. I can. Oh,
Yeah,
let's see.
you should
Yeah, I
already
can.
be able to open it up and see everything.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay.
And you
Just
said what about tomorrow?
I have now. Tomorrow is a day that is never going to come.
yeah. Um Kenobi, just remember Hadaza can only pick up skills that are or force skills that are in the main book and what's available for her teacher to teach her. So if there's a question about that, please make sure you contact Tasara and you balance those force skills, okay?
All
Well,
right.
can you see Tessara's
No.
character
Oh.
sheet?
Nope.
Can you give him the ability to see it? That might help.
That's your choice, not mine. I can do it, but that's going to be your decision.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have any problem with him seeing it.
Okay. All right, check it now, Kenobi.
It's loading.
It's loaded.
All right.
All right, we good?
Let's see here. Yeah, we're good. So she had. Okay, I see that. All right. Wow. Damn.
Yeah, Tasara's pretty badass in certain areas.
Yeah, I can see that. Been holding out on us.
She has. Absolutely has. Trying to be Little Miss Goody Two Shoes instead of warrior Princess Xena.
Sad.
No comment.
Just genuinely sad right now.
I know. If Tasara ever really cut loose, she fucks some shit up.
Yeah. I like the placeholder. That's
Mhm.
funny.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take care of this.
All right. So, and I'm gonna just tell you guys right now, I'm really sad you killed my force sensitive.
Let me just remind you of one very important fact.
Professor,
Ready?
Professor's no cupcake.
I got room on my team for one golem, not two.
And Astra, your ghoul.
Yeah.
Shanti.
Astra's
Wow.
already the cupcake I've chosen.
Wow.
That's awesome. It
Ah.
wasn't meant to go with you. He wasn't meant to join the team. He was just supposed to give you information. But you already, by getting the hostage, you got the information. So, but
I just wanted to make sure that that hostage wasn't already dead and
It-
going to magically transform into a zombie and try and eat us all.
well, I was going to say this the hostage was dead, but when it looked like you guys weren't going to pump the little force sensitive zombie for information, I decided to let the hostage be alive so you guys could rescue.
Thank
Cool.
you.
You're welcome. Anyway, it is late. I have to work tomorrow, and I still have to stop the recording before I say something that I'm going to get in trouble for.